Trying to keep us on time here, or as close to on time as we can get. Good morning, everyone. We will call to order the meeting of the Board of County Commissioners for April 17th, 2018. And we will start by a salute to the flag. And we would ask Commissioner Bonnie Weber if she would please lead us in a salute to the flag. We're very happy to have you in our chambers this morning.
So much. Please join with me. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you very much, Commissioner. And then we will go to roll call. Madam Clerk.
Good morning, Madam Chair. Marcia Burke-Bigler, Chair.
Here.
Kitty Jung, Vice Chair.
Present.
Bob Lucy.
Here.
Von Hartung.
Present.
Jeannie Herman.
Here.
County Manager John Slaughter.
Present.
Deputy District Attorney David Watts-Vial.
Here.
I'm Nancy Parent, County Clerk. You have a quorum, Madam Chair.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Mr. Manager.
Madam Chair, we're going to jump right into item 3, which is our new employee introduction.
Right.
So what we'll do is we'll have the commissioners come down, down below, then employees will line up and come introduce themselves.
Perfect.
So give us a second to get organized.
I'm bringing those.
How come the meeting is paused? Let's see.
Okay. Say your name and your title and your department.
Hi, I'm Mandy Flavel, data analyst for the Medical Examiner's Office.
Welcome. Thank you.
Travis Ham, CSD, Utilities and Civil Projects Inspector.
Welcome.
Thank you for having me. My name is Suzette Turley. I'm an office assistant too with the District Attorney Office.
Very nice to meet you.
Good morning. Brian DeMunick, Director of the Regional Public Safety Training Center.
Good morning. My name is Raymond Wiedefeld. I work with the Family Engagement Center, and I'm a senior human services support specialist.
Good morning. My name is Sandy McKinnon. I work for Human Services for the Mobile Outreach Safety Team's case manager. I'm excited.
Good morning, my name is Carolyn Boston. I'm an office admin too for the county clerk's office.
My name's Katie Schultz. I'm an animal services assistant with the Animal Services, obviously Washoe County.
Good morning. My name is Heather Shrive. I'm an animal services caretaker for Washoe County Regional Animal Services.
That's one girl, that's what I want to do.
Hi, my name is Casey Rappahan, and I forgot what I do. I do the same as Heather. I work with Animal Services caretaker for Animal Services.
Congratulations. Welcome all of you.
Thank you, everybody, all new employees. It's wonderful to have all these great people working for the county. Mr. Manager.
Madam Chair, our next item is our recognition of employees who have completed excellence in public service. Washington County encourages lifelong learning and the professional development of all employees. Are administered by the Human Resources Department. Our Excellence in Service in Public Service Series certificate are designed to support employee development and performance. The completion of these courses over a 2-year period demonstrates the employee's commitment to continuous personal and professional improvement and to Washoe County's journey of excellence. And today we're very pleased to recognize that commitment. Our first recipient is Linda Ray Olson, Account Clerk 2 for the Comptroller's Office. And she has completed the Essentials of Personal Effectiveness and Essentials of SAP for Financial Staff. Yay. And next is Janine Rosa, Environmental Engineer 2 for the Health District, who has completed the Essentials of High-Performing Teams and Essentials of Personal Effectiveness certificate programs. That's it.
Okay. Thank you, everybody, and thank you so much to your management teams who allow you time to do these, and thank you for your continued support of the county. Appreciate it. Our employees are so important. Mr. Manager? I know.
I apologize. I should have brought all of my equipment with me. Our next item is item 5, which is one of our newer recognition programs that we have. This is recognizing employees who have received our Safety Recognition Award. It's a certificate as well as a pin. And our first recipient is Nancy Ueda. She'd come down. And Nancy has been recognized for taking immediate action when she noticed a smoldering fire at the entrance of the Nevada Humane Society building, which is connected to our Regional Animal Services building, and taking very quick action to extinguish the smoking materials that are at the entrance of the building. Nancy's also has attended first aid and life-saving CPR AED training, which is what she was doing at the time when she noticed the smoke inside that facility. So congratulations to Nancy.
Thank you very much for doing such good work.
Thank you.
And our second recipient is Fred Manet. Fred would come down, also with Animal Services, an animal caretaker. And Fred has been recognized for promptly and efficiently removing snow and ice on a regular basis this winter from the front entryways of the office prior to opening for business without being asked, just taking that action on his own.
Great.
So congratulations to Fred.
Thank you so much.
There you go.
Thank you, sir.
Once again, thank you all very much. Our employees are everything. Mr. Manager?
Yes, so we're going to move now to our newest recognition that we have. This is as a part of our Washoe Leadership Program and our Employee Recognition Committee, just as a way of introduction, since this is new, our Shining Star Award. I think what's important about this particular award is that the nominations come from fellow employees, could come from your supervisor, could come from the public. So this is something I'm very, very happy and pleased with, and these are starting to roll in. So this is our first recognition of that award. And I'm just going to ask them all to come down as a group and receive their award. So first we have Bert Bracey, Maura Howenstein, Jennifer Sweezy, Rachel Magera, Casey LaFoon, Jesse Salem, Laura Beretta, Carmen Mendoza, and our last recipient, I need to make mention, I call him Zalam Bagali. He couldn't be here today because his wife gave birth to a child this morning. So he, not only is he a shining star, but I think his wife is as well. Congratulations.
How wonderful. Thank you, everybody. Okay. Oh. So you're going to run the meeting from out there? You can't go home yet. All right, we'll move to public comment. Mr. Manager, you want to read it?
I will. This is item 6 on our agenda, and I'm sorry, item 7 on our agenda. This is public comment.
Thank you, everybody. See ya.
Comment heard on this item is limited to 3 minutes per person and may pertain to matters both on and off the commission agenda. The commission also hears public comment during individual action items, with comment limited to 3 minutes per person, and comments to be made to the commission as a whole.
Thank you, Mr. Manager. I have Mr. Jeff Church.
And for the record, Madam Chair, has provided us with documentation, which I'll distribute to the board and make part of the record for today's meeting.
Thank you.
Good morning, folks. My name is Jeff Church. I run a website, renotaxrevolt.com. That's renotaxrevolt.com. And I am a candidate also for the Washoe County School Board. However, today I'm here to talk about AB 375, the flood tax measure. I believe tentatively that may be on your agenda for discussion on May 8th. A few issues I wanted to put on the record since I will be out of town on that date. Number one, the deadline for application for the opposed and pro committee is tomorrow. I would like to be considered for that committee on the opposed side, and I have submitted the paperwork to the registrar of voters. My resume is listed on your attachment, and I remind you that I did serve faithfully on the WC1 Sales Tax Opposition Committee, so there's certainly no reason not to consider me. I did well on that, best I could. Although we lost. The ballot measure has a number of legal issues, this one that's coming up, including open meeting law and constitutional issues. So unlike the problems we ran into with the previous WC1, I'm trying to be here well in advance to give you time to look at that, to talk to your legal advisor, go over it, and if there are legal issues, maybe there's time to send it back to the flood committee for their explanation, review, or input. And also under the Nevada Revised Statute, unlike last time that we ran into, the explanation by statute is written by the district attorney. It's not written by the committee. So let's avoid any kind of glitch on that. The explanation that was provided by the biased committee is factually inaccurate, wrong, and biased. And my handout also for your reading pleasure addresses many of the issues related to the why you should be opposed to it, either individually or as a group. And this there's so many alternatives to that. The actual ballot measure passes on to property owners once again a property tax increase above the 3% cap from the legislature. And what happens when you pass that on to property owners? We pass that on to our renters. And we are number 50 in the nation for unaffordable housing. So rents are sky high, and with this measure, they're going to get sky higher. So a lot of different reasons to oppose that. I say let the people in the floodplain mitigate their problems. There's other options within general fund, City of Sparks, federal, state grants, et cetera. Lots of different ways we can mitigate flood control. I do remind you in the audience that we already pay sales tax for flood control. That's a very specific tax dedicated 100% to flood control. So let them live within their means. Let's use that. And one of the main issues is what's called the Vista Narrows. That can be addressed and alleviate much of the problem without having to go to the entire $400 million tax. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Church. Next, I have Miss Elise Weatherly. Good morning.
Good morning, Elise Weatherly, a resident of Washoe County. First of all, sorry about the unprofessional dress. I meant to dress up a little bit more when I came here because I know the way we look does affect how people listen, but it's not high on my priority list. So what is high priority in my list? It's about the world that we live in and what happens to those who actually tell the truth. Last time I was here, I said, I'm going to start naming names. And I got to thinking, well, I have a list of liars in this community, and I'm going to put down those list of names and what they lied about. The thing is that lying is not necessarily illegal, but it does affect character. And so I want you to know, first of all, what is my character? If I'm ever set up in a witness stand, I want people to know that I'm telling the truth. The truth matters to me, even if it causes a little bit of grief and pain in others. And actually, I'm one of those kind of weird people that loves the law. I don't love the lawyers that twist the law, but I love the law enough to say it's worth living by. And why did I get started on this thing? I have a brother, and he likes this lady named Dorothy Kilgallen. She was a media icon. I don't know if you guys remember that. What's my line? She was a journalist. Well, in my mind, she was just like this little nothing lady. She's just a media icon. She's not worth listening to. Then I started doing some investigation, and she was, on November 8th of 1965, she was by the coroner at the time, whose name was James Luke. She was considered dead because of alcohol and drug combination overdose. Well, guess what? She was getting ready to publish something where she knew who had killed JFK. That's what she was going to do. She got murdered, and it was attributed to accidental drug and overdose thing, okay? So that went away. Mark Shaw, December 20th, 2016, put in a plea to the New York Manhattan police force to please open up this cold case. It doesn't matter how old a case is. If it's murder, it gets reopened. So I'm hoping that Mark Shaw gets his plea, that somebody's case will look at it, because the fact of the matter is you guys, no matter what we do, no matter what's done to us, people say it's hidden, it's covered up, right? It's not covered up. Everything is going to come to light in the future. And so that's what I'm trying to tell people is, hey, the truth really does matter. It doesn't just disappear. It just doesn't go away. Recently, there was a man named Maxim Borum, who died, Borum, I think his name was. He was a journalist for a Russian Post. He accidentally fell off a 5th floor ledge. This was on Sunday. Guess what? They're considering it suicide. It was murder, you guys. And so what I'm saying is out loud and publicly is that I have a list of things against people who are liars in this community and who try to say you're at fault. And I will put those to rest for a few years until I accomplish a couple other things that are important. Then when and if I die, I will be contacting the district attorney and say, here's the liars, check them out. Thanks, guys.
We need the overhead, please.
Good morning, Ms. Holdstill.
Good morning.
We need the overhead.
Yes, please.
Okay.
Good morning, Tammy Holdstill, Lemon Valley Swan Lake Recovery Committee since June 8th, 2017. For the record, the water's still there. I'm still here, again, for the record. Commissioner Brooke-Brigler mentioned last Tuesday about approval of the Planning Commission project in Lemon Valley that was not appealed to the board. I and Lemon Valley Swan Lake Recovery Committee have and had appealed, and now your staff is stating I must prove standing or aggrieved before board will listen to the merits of the case. It's a closed basin, and I was before you with photos back in January 24, 2017, with the egregious treatment of our Valiant homes by this board and county staff. We have not forgotten, but staff has. Staff has no trouble wasting time, and my time too. Nice to see taxpayer money wasted on this right here. This is the road that was washed out this last weekend because of the storm and the wind and the waves going across over to Tumwa. But yet, the homes that are in that same area are having to fight on their own terms to save their property from the water that is leaking in because of not having a berm protecting their homes back there. Then you go to the wasting of time on Wednesday in the new HESCO barriers with the storm and how the water was surging out. Then turning around and creating additional dangerous hazards on the road to do something like this, which I had mentioned would happen. That is a waste of taxpayers' time and money. Pumping out the field of Prado Ranch, which is vacant, and making those homes suffer. Then you turn around and barely pump the field where it is the water is endangering residents is another issue. Then we go to permits of permanent solutions. Bedell Flats is out. Of course, I see that the gentleman is missing now. Since 2015, BLM has not permitted Washoe County, City of Reno, Tumwa to do the testing to move Bedell Flats. So where's the permanent dream, or where's the permanent fix? Doing an emergency flood response mitigation is not a permanent solution to the situation at hand. It's time to address things properly. Your staff wasted my time. This is my response to your staff regarding the proving standing and aggrieved. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Holdstill. Next, I have Mr. Jeff Staffelbach. Please let me know if I didn't pronounce that name correctly.
Okay.
And forgive me also.
Yeah, my name is Jeff Staffelbach. I live in Spanish Springs, and I'm one of the people that a few months ago got up and spoke against you allowing the Rise Pot Dispensary to occupy the building it is now in on La Posada in Spanish Springs. The Rise representatives lied to us when they showed us pictures of the way the building would be represented and the signage that they would use. They said, oh, it will be very inconspicuous and you won't even know it's there. A little over a week ago, the Rise Company painted the whole side of the building that faces La Posada a bright orange with the words Rise in approximately 6-foot letters and the words elevated cannabis in approximately 4-foot letters. This sign was as subtle as an aircraft carrier. You could see it from over a mile away. And since then, only because of people like me complaining about it, has the Rise Company repainted the bright orange to an off-white, but the signage is still there. The side of the building should be repainted to its original color scheme that matches the rest of the shopping center with no sign. Rise cannot be trusted to make good decisions and should have their use permit rescinded. I can only imagine what they will pull during Burning Man. Will they cut down the trees on that side of the building and then ask for forgiveness? When recreational pot was legalized, they put a large banner on the front of their building saying they would sell to any patron over 21 years of age, again, against the original words against their original words. That sign has since been removed. Ride needs to leave. Allow them to set up in an industrial park and not in our neighborhood. The 3 commissioners, Ms. Burke-Builder, Ms. Jung, and Mr. Lucy, pushed this through against the wishes of their colleague, Von Hartung, and his constituents. And they should do the right thing and rescind the use permit. Again, they also said that they were going to have security on site. That's long been gone. They originally did, but there is no visible security on site. Rise cannot be trusted. Work together, like it says up there. Do the right thing. Rescind the use permit.
No more public comment, so we will close the public comment, bring it back to the board. And Mr. Manager, we are on to 8.
We are on to 8, which is our Commissioner, County Manager's announcements, reports, and updates, requests for information, or topics for future agendas. I have nothing.
You have nothing? Commissioners, I don't see anybody on here. Commissioner, Vice Chair John.
Thank you, Madam Chairwoman, very much. I just have a question for staff, if we could access the database that I'm going to speak about. For the first time ever, there has been a eviction database generated. I'm not sure if it's at the state or local level. It was done by a sociologist, Matthew Desmond, who won a Pulitzer Prize for his book called Evicted: Poverty and Profit in the American City. And the reason why I'm interested, what is it for the state, which really doesn't tell me anything. I'd like to go down at the county level and see how that happens, because there's a direct cause of homelessness vis-a-vis eviction. And this person has exposed people being evicted for like less than $30 that they owed, you know, and that how much managers have so much discretion, how much they would keep or go ahead and evict. So if I would just like a staff, it doesn't need to be formal here unless somebody else wants it, just the information, the data, and how we might use it with our master plan for homelessness as well. Thank you. That's all I got.
Thank you, Vice Chair John. Commissioner Hartung.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Jen, will you pull the first slide up of the Rise building with the orange side? So this is what Mr. Staffelbach was referring to. Next slide, please, Jen. This is what it looks like today. The sign is in complete compliance. So they did pull a permit. I was surprised to see it, but I will say that they complied immediately, and to their credit. So, you know, it works both ways. I will somewhat disagree. I don't think the letters are quite 6 feet. They're pretty good size, and the smaller letters are Mr. Staffelbach, with all due respect, not 4 feet. But I understand. I do. Can we go to the next set of slides, Jen, on Bellatrix Way? And by the way, I want to thank again Commissioner Lucy for being involved in that. He got on it immediately. Their attorney got on it. The lobbyist got on it. So they were very, very responsive, and I thank them for that. So this is a continuing complaint that we get on Bellatrix Way about Waste Management's truck leaking hydraulic fluid. Next slide, please. So there's another, and so you think, well, wait a minute. So I got onto Google Earth, and I did the flyover, and then I went to street level. Next slide, please. That's Google Earth. It's there. So Waste Management is responding to this, but the problem is still we are being put in the middle of their customer service loop because they're not responsive. They just ignore customers, and then I will give kudos to our staff, everyone from Kate to 311 to Nancy Leuenhagen. It worked backwards fairly quickly. Next slide, please. So there's Waste Management's photograph of it, and you can see that, and by the way, it's all the way down the street. Their truck is leaking fluid massively. And the assertion is, and I understand this, that when the street gets wet, that fluid gets drawn off and it gets into the water supply. That's correct, into our stormwater.
Which of course it does, yes.
Next slide, please. So Waste Management went out, and that's what they've done. But I guess the question comes.
What is that?
I don't know, Madam Chair, I'm sorry. Yeah, something, dirt, diatomaceous earth or something of that nature. I don't know what they're using. This is just what they sent me, that they have responded. Again, my angst, Mr. Manager, is that we're still dealing with Waste Management's issues, and I hate to be put in the middle of that. And then the final couple of things, I'd like us to bring back, I've asked for a look at the used car lot we now have on the corner of La Posada and Pyramid, where the old park is. The Mankey family have just forgotten the lot. It is in a deep state of disrepair. I'm not impressed with it. They were supposed to take care of it. We're in the process of trying to get a land use change for them, and they've not held up their end of the bargain, and I'm not happy. I'll leave it at that. And then finally, is Mr. Solero's in the audience, so that'll be good. Can we create a dashboard, Mr. Solero, for road closings throughout the county so that fire and first responders can understand where roads are closed? Not just says truly it pertains to Lemon Drive, but it really pertains to all roads. We're going to have some closings on La Posada, and I think that if we had a dashboard and understanding when those roads are going to be closed so that emergency vehicles, whether it's our fire service, whether it's REMSA, or whether it's police response, understands that there are road closings, and they can look on that dashboard and understand when those timings, or the timing of those closures, and the length of the closures. And that's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Hartung. Commissioner Lucy.
Thank you, Madam Chair. You know, I want to go back and ask staff, you know, we, as Mr. Church pointed out earlier today, this commission did approve the allowance to put the flood ballot measure on this November's election cycle. Do we have open applications for this? Can Mr. Church apply for this? Has he applied? Is that where we, you know, so I just want to make sure if that application is allowed, I'd like to get his name in there and just get that application going. Make sure we can get that on the record and move forward with that. That's all I have, Madam Chair. Thank you.
Commissioner Lucy. Mr. Manager.
Madam Chair, as a way of announcement, the applications for the committees related to the arguments committees for the ballot question, that is available on the Washoe County website. So in fairness to everyone involved, if you are interested, that would be the location to go to. Or if you can't find that, you can call 311, Washoe County 311 from any phone, and they will connect you with that application process.
Thank you, Mr. Manager. And additionally, this issue will come before the BCC at the 5/8 meeting, and we will be asked at that time to approve the committee for the oversight of this, or the committee that's going to handle this particular issue. So, I'm sorry?
We're not asked. It's just a ministerial job, yeah.
Yeah, right, I realize that, but it'll come before us on 5/8 for us to vote on it, so. Okay, Commissioner Lucy, you had something?
Yeah, one other thing, Madam Chair. Thank you, Madam Chair. You know, also I was approached by a number of citizens across the county, some in Commissioner Hartung's district, some in my district, about the survey that's going out currently in regards to future that Washoe County is putting out in regards to future. We're asking for the involvement of citizens to participate in the survey to talk about what you're looking for in regards to quality of life, future usage planning, and things like that help with our master plan revision and our master plan update. So I would urge all individuals and all residents to go to washoecounty.us and participate in that survey. There was an announcement that went out yesterday on our social media for that, but a number of people have got on and responded to that, and it's been great so far, and everybody seems to be appreciative of that ability to sound and voice that. So I want to thank staff for that.
Thank you, Commissioner Lucy. Anybody second round? Okay, so I would like to ask for an issue to be brought back for what I'm certain is going to need to be the 2-hour rule. And that is based on a conversation that I had with the county manager and with the district attorney, Mr. Liparelli. I would like staff to look into the requirements of what the county is required to do with relationship to both the County Planning Commission and the County Board of Adjustment, and how we can merge all of this together in some manner. I know this is not something that's going to be able to be done in a quick manner, but I would like to see by the end of this summer some clarification on exactly what that means to this county. I think we're using a lot of staff time, a lot of money on these issues, and I'm wondering if there isn't something we can do that still allows the developers to have a review and allows the people to have a comment on the issues. We have our cabs are set up in such a manner to allow these issues to come before them. And I think it would be beneficial to us to see if there isn't some way we can save some county money by not using so much staff time on these issues. And I just wanted to get that on record and ask for that. I believe it will have to come back to us, Mr. Manager. And I know the next agenda is very, very heavy, so if it comes back in May, that will be fine, to get approval from the commission for the 2-hour rule. Commissioner Hartung.
Thank you, Madam Chair. And I wanted to let the public know, in the event that there is someone who would like to entertain this property, Tumwa is selling, we've put on the disposal list because we no longer have need for it, the Farad property. It's in California.
Only for a small, just a little bit. 23 million or some ridiculous thing?
It's not even close to that. It's not. It's 103 acres, and I would ask you to just think about the last time 103 acres of Truckee River property came up for sale. It's in California. We will be maintaining the Tahoe Pyramid bike path through it. I believe our board will ultimately ratify that. I can't obviously speak for the board, but I believe that that's a condition that we will put on it. But it's a wonderful piece of property. It's really an amazing property. The building was built in 1899. It's a very historic property, and it was built to supply power to the Comstock. And so it's an important piece of our history. I hope that whomever decides to purchase it maintains the building for its historic value, but it would be a great place for a brewery with a little stop off for fly fishermen. I am not kidding you. It's
Commissioner Hartung and I are going to build an outdoor recreation center out there.
It is an amazing place. There's places that little cabins could be placed. And if anyone would like a tour, we can certainly arrange that. And if you're an earnest buyer, we will arrange a tour. And it is not 23 million. It is. We're still vacillating on the price. I believe. I'll just put it this way. I believe the parcel is worth between 5 and 10 million. But that's just my belief. It could come in at less than that. It could come in less than that. But it has an amazing features in terms of it's got some property that the rafters can drop off or pick up rather. It's just a really, really neat piece of property in Nevada County in California. So I wanted to make mention of that. We are discussing it tomorrow at our Tumwa meeting. It will be on our agenda. If anyone has interest, certainly show up. We are still entertaining interest. Let's just put it that way. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you, Commissioner Hartung. I see no more comments from any commissioners, so we will close Commissioner County Manager's announcements and move on to number 9, our proclamations. And the first one, I believe,
this is item 9, our proclamations, and our first proclamation is item 9A1. This is a proclamation proclaiming May 3rd, 2018 as National Day of Prayer. And I know there are folks in the audience for this item as well. Commissioner Hartung is coming down, so if you could join Commissioner Hartung.
Dan, I don't know who all I have here. I know Commissioner Weber. You're welcome. And then Pastor Dan.
I do too.
Pastor Dan. Yeah, and who else do we have? Pastor Joey. Pastor Joy. Good. Pastor David Ober. Oberg. I beg your pardon. Thank you so much. So this is an important one. I believe we should all pray unceasingly, but that's just my own opinion. So This is a proclamation about the National Day of Prayer. Whereas Washoe County will join with the state and recognize the 67th Annual National Day of Prayer. And whereas in 1775, the First Continental Congress called the colonials together to pray for wisdom in shaping our nation. And as a strong America grew, national prayer continued, prompting a proclamation from President Abraham Lincoln in 1863 and a congressional joint resolution signed by President Truman in 1952, establishing a National Day of Prayer. And whereas the theme for the 2018 National Day of Prayer is Pray for America, Unity, and whereas we pause to remember the brave men and women serving in our armed forces, and we pray for their protection and ask God to grant them strength and courage to confront the extraordinary hardships they face. And whereas we give thanks for the gift of freedom and express our overwhelming gratitude for those who defend it. And whereas on May 3rd, Washoe County residents from diverse socioeconomic, political, and ethnic backgrounds will unite to give thanks for our many blessings and ask God to strengthen our families, our schools, and our government. Now, therefore, the Washoe County Board of Commissioners does hereby proclaim May 3rd, 2018 as National Day of Prayer, signed by our chair, Marcia Burke-Bigler. And I would just take this opportunity to remind all of us, we're allowed to assemble, we're allowed to worship, we're allowed to speak freely because of everything that our service members have given and give to us every single day. So thank you so much, Madam Chair.
Thank you, Commissioner Hartung.
Thank you so much.
Commissioner Weber, you can start. There it is.
Thank you so much. I just wanted to, Bonnie Weber, for the record, I just wanted to say thank you all for doing this. And just so that you all know, we've been doing this, we started the proclamations, getting the proclamation in 2004, the first year. And now we have a celebration every year, so this will be our 13th celebration here at Washoe County, and I'm hoping that you all will participate. It's a great event. It's 1 hour long, and it's the first Thursday in May. So it's May 3rd, and it'll be right out in our courtyard here at Washoe County. We have our permit, so we're all legal. And I just think it's important for you all, because this is our 13th celebration. The pastors in this community have come together, and we started it off, Commissioner Larkin and I started it off in 2005. But I want to make sure that everyone realizes that there are no tax dollars spent on this. It comes from the community, it comes from the churches that are involved, and we have a lot of churches involved. And just so folks know, it starts at noon, and if it's a hot day, you might want to bring a chair, your sunglasses, and a bottle of water. Or if it's cold, make sure you have your coat and your umbrella if it's going to be raining. It's a great opportunity. We have lots of folks come out. Again, it's May 3rd. The first Thursday in May is May 3rd at the Washoe County Administration Complex. It's from 12 to 1. And absolutely excited about this. Our pastors are meeting right after this again to talk about this event coming up next week in 2 weeks. So thank you so much. Just happy to be here. This place is amazing. It just looks so great. And I just thank you all for your work and what you do. And we pray for all of our elected officials. We pray for businesses, the media, and our military as well, and our churches. And so please come and join us. It's a great time. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Gentlemen?
Pastor?
Hi, we just want to, Pastor Dan Sitma, University Family Fellowship. One time we were the biggest church, now we're probably one of the smaller churches. But we're still here and we're still praying for you guys, we're praying for this county. We lift up our schools, we lift up our businesses that are coming in, and we just can see that the Lord's hand has been in this place for quite some time. Gone from bust to boom again, And we just, like I said, we got to pray for our new renters that are looking for affordable housing here. And we just thank you for the work you do and the service you do. And I know that sometimes it's not, you're not appreciated for the decisions you have to make, sometimes. But we do appreciate you, and we do lift you up in prayer. So thank you so much for what you do, and we're excited to be able to do this on the county complex.
Thank you very much. Appreciate you being here.
Good morning, Madam Chair, Commission. My name is Joey Bock. I'm the Associate Pastor at Faith Alive Christian Center. And just want to mirror their comments and say thank you for your continued support of our freedom of expression, especially in the public square. And we do continue to pray for you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah. My name is David Oberg. I'm the senior pastor of Faith Alive Christian Center, and I too want to say thank you for the proclamation. And we do continuously pray for you, and we have done for years and years and years. And we thank you for your service here and service to the community. And we're going to keep on doing what we're supposed to do and called to do, and that is just to be a blessing in this community and join forces together with you and stand together with you also. So we appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Thank you all for being here. And if you would stay around, we'll get through the rest of our proclamations, and then we'll do pictures.
We have another Sorry. Okay. They can't. They have to bug out.
So you want to?
Can we do it now?
Oh, okay, so let's do the picture now.
Sure.
All right. Oh, I was All right. Here we go. And in 3, 2. Good. And let me take one more with the cell. Here we go. Oh yeah. 3, 2. Okay.
Thank you. Thanks, guys. See you at night. I'll be there. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Yeah, well, I think, let's give Mike Month to, would you like to do one of these, Older Americans Month? No. No, you're not old, but.
Should we keep moving?
Yes, keep going.
Okay, our next proclamation is item 9A2. This is a proclamation proclaiming May 2018 as Older Americans Month. And Commissioner Herman just found out she will be reading this proclamation. And we have, I know we have a
lot of young, older people here.
We do.
A lot of our people who volunteer and do so much good work for our senior center and our senior citizens, so. And Commissioner Herman, thank you very much for stepping in. Unfortunately, Commissioner Jung has an appointment, a family emergency that she needs to go take care of, so.
So since I'm the oldest of the bunch.
That works.
This proclamation, whereas Washoe County Human Services Agency Senior Services Division served more than 2,600 seniors in need of support, resources, and referrals to community-based programs and case management during fiscal year 2017, and whereas the Human Services Agency Senior Services Division is committed to engaging and supporting older adults, their families, caregivers, through its vision to ensure every senior is living well, aging well, and whereas the Human Services Agency Senior Services Division can enrich the lives of individuals of every age, and one way it does so is by serving more than 4,000 seniors, 415,000 meals a year, and recently served its 8 millionth meal. And whereas we acknowledge the importance of taking part in activities that promote physical, mental, and emotional well-being, no matter what your age, and whereas in honor of Older Americans Month, Washoe County Human Services Agency Senior Services Division is hosting more than 100 events for seniors throughout May to support the year's theme to help seniors engage at every age. And now therefore, the Washoe County Board of Commissioners does hereby proclaim May 2018 as Older Americans Month. The Human Services Agency Senior Services Division urges every resident to take time during the month of May to recognize older adults and people who serve them as vital parts of our community. Dated this 17th day of April 2018, signed by Marcia Bigler, Chair of Washoe County Commission.
Thank you, Commissioner Herman. I so appreciate you doing this. And of course, we have such a good group of people here. Please, who's ever...
Good morning. Abby Battalato with Washoe County Human Services Agency, Senior Services Coordinator. From fiscal year 16 to fiscal year 17, we were able to increase our meals by 5.5%, and that includes our congregate and our home-delivered meals. Through our various programs, we touched and served over 21,000 individual seniors, and so on behalf of our staff, I want to thank you for support of Older Americans Month.
Thank you, Abby. I appreciate you being here and everything you do.
Good morning, Commission.
Good morning.
And Madam Chair. I'm Donna Klontz. I'm Vice Chair of the County Senior Advisory Board, as well as Chair of the Reno Senior Advisory Board. And as you were told, we have about 100 different events going on through the month of May.
Could we have the overhead, please?
We haven't got it in color yet. The booklet is being printed, but there will be a couple thousand of them printed that will be distributed through our senior centers, our community centers, libraries, and other places where seniors can pick them up and participate in the events throughout the month of May. Both the county board and the Reno board went out into the community to create some new events this year. We have some of you coming to speak at our various places so the seniors can come and meet you and talk with you about things that are on their minds. So this year's theme is Engage at Every Age, and it involves both the county and both of our cities in support. RTC is doing some events on transportation. The folks that are working on affordable housing will be doing some things, all those things that folks are very interested in learning about so that they can get the services they need will be happening during the month of May. So we appreciate your support. Thank you so much for the proclamation.
Thank you.
Good morning, Madam Chair, members of the Commission. Michael Moreno, RTC Public Affairs Manager. On behalf of the RTC Board of Commissioners and staff, we are proud to support and participate in Older Americans Month. We're really excited to have events this coming month where we will teach seniors how to ride RTC transit services, learn about various transportation options that they have through our community partners, and with the signature event on May 11th of Stuff a Bus for Seniors, which has been happening since 2014. Thank you, and we're glad to be a proud sponsor of this.
Thank you. Appreciate you being here.
Could you permit me one liberty?
Certainly.
I'd be remiss if I didn't tell you and the audience that on April 22nd, the RTC will be providing free transit for Earth Day all day long. And so we're excited to be able to give the community an opportunity to try transit, but also to reduce their carbon footprint. There are going to be a few park and ride locations, and information about transportation options is available at renoearthday.org.
Super. Thank you very much for letting us know. Anybody else?
I guess I'm next. Chris Jarlow, Community Outreach Coordinator for the Human Services Agency. Senior Services focuses on our seniors every day, as Washoe County cares about our seniors. There's no question about that here in our community. Our elderly have done so much for us over the years, and this is our opportunity this month to make sure that we reciprocate. So we encourage everyone to come out, and I'm here just to highlight a few of the different events that we have this year. It's going to look a little bit different than we've seen in the past, but first off, we will kick off Tuesday, May 1st with Older Americans Month opening ceremonies at Senior Center. That'll be at 10 a.m., and we invite the media, the general public, of course our seniors, to come celebrate, and the county commission as well. On Friday, May 11th, Stuff a Bus donation drive at Greater Nevada Field will be from 3 to 7 p.m. That is on a game night, strategically done. We hope that people will come out to the game, pick up a half-off ticket to a future soccer game or Aces game for donating to Stuff a Bus, and come on out, enjoy the game, and as you're heading in, stop by the bus and hand off the donations to our staff. And that is key this year. We want to do a drive-by donation drive right there on Evans Avenue and 2nd at the corner there of Greater Nevada Field. You don't even have to get out of your car. If you're on your way home from work on Friday, May 11th, staff will grab the donations from you and bring them to the bus. So please come on out and support our seniors in that way. And then on Friday, May 18th, we have the Incline Community Assistance Center open house. That's from 12 to 1:30. We're very excited for our community up there to be able to offer various services to them and show them all that Washoe County does for them on a daily basis. And last but not least, we signed a partnership with Renaissance Hotel downtown, and we're going to play bocce ball, have a little bit of fun, and a social hour with our seniors. So come on out if you want to compete and have some fun with us. We thank you so much, the Commission, for supporting senior services and our seniors during the month of May. We look forward to seeing you.
Thank you so much. Our seniors are so important. Go right ahead.
Hi, I'm Marcy Cooper-Smith. I'm a senior advocate, senior volunteer. I'm secretary for the Washoe County Senior Citizen Advisory Committee. I just want to say I'm really pleased. Now that I live in Sparks, I'm so happy we have some Sparks events happening this time. One of them being RTC will be speaking at the Spanish Springs Library. We also have the Sparks Housing Specialist who will be speaking at the Sparks Library. We have the Sparks Fire Inspector speaking at the Sparks Senior Center. So we're really proud that we're trying to get Sparks seniors involved more than ever, and the libraries are really into it for a second year in a row, hosting several events. So thank you very much for your continued support of seniors.
Thank you, Marcy. For those of you who don't know Marcy, she's short, but she's a bundle of energy, and she does so much for our seniors. She is fabulous, and we really appreciate all the work you do for us. Anybody else?
I'll just say hi. My name is Rick Sorenson. I'm a program specialist for TMCC Community Education, which is the fun classes. I oversee Silver College for 55 and older. And I'm proud to be part of the advisory board and to work with these people.
Thank you. Shall we do the picture since we are doing pictures after immediately? So let's do it.
That's okay.
Chris, you gotta get over there. Sorry. Part-time. We need to move more.
All right. Right here we go. In 3, 2. Thank you.
Sure. Yeah, absolutely. Sure. His Honor was just enjoying sitting in our audience, so. But let's do law next.
Okay.
Commissioner Lucy, I think.
The next item we'll go to then is item 9A4, and this is a proclamation proclaiming May 1st, 2018 as Law Day.
Good morning, Madam Chair and Commissioners. It is my honor to have with us today the illustrious, the Honorable Chief Judge Scott Freeman and Miss Emily Reed with us as well. They are both here to accept a proclamation for Law Day. And you can see Chief Judge came dressed in his finest attire today to receive such a proclamation. Yeah.
You know,
No, this is years.
Here.
Yeah. Yeah, go grab.
I'll let you use my gavel.
Commissioner Hartung, if I could go back over time and tell you the time that this man has put me in places that I probably didn't deserve, and this is well before he was a judge, let me just tell you that. So it's okay, I can give him a little grief, but he looks great today. I'm glad to have him down here next to me, and it's my honor to talk about Law Day. Obviously, laws are tremendously important. They're everything that govern our society and individuals within them. My wife is an attorney, lives by them every day. Our court system and judicial system, our sheriff's office, all revolve around the laws that our government and our elected officials and individuals of power put into place to keep our citizens safe, our communities continuously growing in the right direction, and it's a tremendous asset for us. So without further ado, I'd like to jump right into this. Washoe County, Nevada proclaims that whereas Law Day is a special day for Americans to appreciate our laws and our Constitution. And whereas Law Day was conceived in 1957, and since 1958, every president has issued a proclamation honoring it. And on its 60th anniversary of Law Day, and this is the 60th anniversary of Law Day. And whereas the theme for this year's Law Day is the separations of powers. And whereas our founding fathers created 3 separate branches of government, the executive, the legislative, and the judicial. And whereas every branch has served as a check on others, preventing any one branch from becoming too powerful or threatening our freedoms. And whereas the supremacy of law is essential to our existence as a safe, free, and just nation. And whereas through our laws, we maintain our rights and liberties. And whereas with our laws, we provide for equality and justice for all. And whereas our judges and advocates for labor daily to maintain this legal system. And now, therefore, the Washoe County Board of Commissioners does hereby proclaim May 1st, 2018 as Law Day, dated the 17th day of April, 2018, signed by our chair, Marcia Burke-Bigler. Chief Judge.
Thank you.
Your Honor.
Thank
Welcome.
you. Thank you very much. I'm Scott Freeman. I'm the Chief Judge of Washoe County. It's an honor to be here, and it's always a very, very interesting experience when I come to the county commission meetings and sit through some of the agenda, because you work very hard, and I see that you deal with a lot of the same issues that sometimes we deal with in the court. What's interesting, as Commissioner Burke-Bigler joked with Commissioner Lucy about holding him in contempt, there are issues related to the separation of powers. We're the judiciary. We recognize Law Day as that separation of powers this year is our 60th anniversary. So using a criminal case as an example, the legislature makes the law, the district attorney's office prosecutes the offender, and if found guilty, I do the sentencing as a member of the judiciary. As a consequence, you can see how they all work together, and that's the recognition that we do in our 60th year. It's my pleasure knowing you all professionally and personally for a number of different reasons, and it's an honor to be the Chief Judge for the next 2 years. And so a recognition of Law Day by way of your proclamation is not only inspirational, but it's very powerful to show how our branches work together. So on that basis, although I normally joke, today's the day to recognize the seriousness of such an important proclamation. So I thank you for that very much. And I know Ms. Reed, as our program manager, would like to speak as well. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. Madam Chair, Commissioners, and Chief Judge Freeman, thank you so much for recognizing Law Day today. My name is Emily Reed. I am the Program Manager of the Law Library and Self-Help Center, and I just wanted to highlight one of the events that we're going to be doing this year to celebrate Law Day. We are hosting the Northern Nevada Women's Lawyers Association for a special Lawyer in the Library event. We started Lawyer in the Library at the Washoe County Law Library in 1999. This will be our third annual event with the Women's Lawyers Association. And right now we have 14 attorneys signed up to come down to the courthouse. We'll be checking people in by appointment or walk-ins for a special lawyer in the library. So we have 14 attorneys, and we hope to keep them all busy. So if anyone is interested in coming down and having their legal questions answered for free, please contact the Law Library and we'll get you signed up. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, and thank you for being here today. Shall we do our?
Yeah, Madam Chair, and I just want to point out, the Law Library event on May 1st is a wonderful event. My wife has been signed up. It's going to be a phenomenal. I urge all the citizens to get out and participate at the Law Library. It's an amazing event. You're going to have a number of wonderful attorneys down there to talk to.
Let's do our picture.
Sir, Your Honor. Thank you.
All right. Here we go. In 3, 2. We're good? Thank you.
Thank you so much. I'm sure you're doing a great job at it. No, he is. You're doing bicycles. Okay, you are. You're doing bicycles. Okay.
That would take us to item 9A3, which is a proclamation proclaiming May 2018 as National Bike Month and Bicycle Safety Month. Commissioner Hartung is here to read this proclamation.
Thank you, Mr. Manager, Madam Chair, Commission. My dear friend, Yan Barnes, who works for the Washoe County Health Department. I've known Yan for many years. I've known her husband for even more. Her husband, Scott Barnes, very dear friend. Dear friends, forgive me. This is an important issue. At RTC, and both Madam Chair and former Chair Lucy, who is the Vice Chair of RTC, we talk about multimodal issues all the time, which means we're giving consideration to bicyclists and other transportation and transit methodologies. And bikes are such a great way to get exercise. I'm sad, and I am guilty. In fact, I mentioned to my wife a couple of days ago, I would like to start riding my bike again. I would really love that because it's just a great form of exercise. And I know people here at Washoe County ride their bicycles to work every day. I don't think I'm that bold. Pyramid Highway is a little daunting for me on a bicycle, but that said, we have a proclamation. And by the way, we spoke about this earlier. I mentioned it, the Tahoe Pyramid Bike Trail, which is not complete, by the way, but it does go all the way up the canyon, and it's an amazing trail. And I don't know whether any of you have ridden it, but it's I'm getting somewhat of a nod. It's a real gem. So that said, Whereas, promoting alternative forms of transportation, such as bicycling, helps to improve health and well-being while reducing emissions, traffic congestion, and America's dependence on fossil fuels. And whereas, creating bicycle-friendly communities has been shown to improve quality of life by fostering community spirit, improving traffic safety, and stimulating economic growth. And whereas, bicycle infrastructure in the Truckee Meadows offers great potential and opportunities to positively impact our recreation and tourism industry by making the region attractive to residents, visitors, and new-coming businesses who enjoy healthy lifestyles and the outdoors. And whereas Nevadans will experience the joys and benefits of bicycling during the month of May through educational and safety programs, community events, or going for an individual or group bike ride. And whereas the education of our entire community on the proper and safe operation of motor vehicles and bicycles sharing the use of streets is important to ensure the safety and respect of all users on Nevada roadways. And whereas the month of May has been declared National Bike Month since 1956. Now therefore, the Washoe County Board of Commissioners does hereby proclaim May 2018 as National Bike Month and Bicycle Safety Month, and May 13th through 19th, 2018 as the Washoe County Bike Week, signed by our chair, Marcia Burke-Bigler.
Thank you very much.
Yan,
It's
thank
just
you
so
so much for
exciting.
coming.
And it ties right in with the bike initiative we have going on with the two cities, the county, to have bikes downtown. So this is going to be great.
Thank you, Madam Chair and members of the board. My name is Yenling Barnes, Health District Air Quality Environment Engineer. I'm also a member of the Truckee Meadows Bicycle Alliance, the Bike Week Organizing Committee members. We are just here to remind everybody that you can find daily activities on bikewasher.org, also on the Truckee Meadows Bicycle Alliance Facebook page. And we encourage everybody who is able to go out and ride a bike and save air quality.
Thank you.
Michael, you're up again.
Yeah.
Mr. Moreno.
Thank you, Commissioner. Michael Moreno, Public Affairs Manager for the RTC. I really appreciate the comments that Commissioner Hartung has made. And one of the guiding principles at the RTC is for safe and healthy communities. And with the work that Commissioner Hartung and Vice Chair Lucy and the other commissioners and the RTC staff do to increase bike amenities and bike infrastructure in our community, it's really important to have this proclamation to acknowledge Bicycle Safety Month and Bike Week. I do want to mention that for the folks in the audience and those watching at home, if you go to bikewasher.org, you can find out all the activities that are going to be occurring during the month of May, as well as an opportunity to win prizes for using alternative modes of transportation. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good morning, Madam Chair, Commission. I'm Officer Roger Markson with the Washoe County School District Police Department. I am the Safe Routes to School Coordinator for the school district. I'd like to commend you all for recognizing alternative forms of transportation, whether it is the National Walk to School Day in October, Nevada Moves Week, which I kind of had to scoot out for a presentation last month, and then Bike Month and Bike Week. A couple of opportunities for you guys, if you feel so inclined. On May 17th at 10 a.m., we're all meeting at City Plaza in front of Reno City Hall. We ride from there, go up to the library, pick up a little small backpack full of books, ride down to Hunter Lake Elementary School, where a bunch of kids are going to be waiting for us to receive those books, as well as the ones we couldn't carry. And then we come back down to the river, down to City Plaza, and have refreshments. That afternoon, an event specific to Washoe County is up at Cold Springs Middle School. We usually have about 200 students who ride their bikes to school that day. And at the end of the day, once all the buses leave at about 2 o'clock, we all jump on our bikes, ride down White Lake, down to White Lake to the 7-Eleven, and everybody gets a free Slurpee who shows up. And then afterwards, we escort those back, and others get to go home. So if you guys get a chance on May 17th at 10 in the morning downtown, or at 2 o'clock in the afternoon out at Cold Springs Middle, I'd love to see you guys.
Thank you very much. That's great. Shall we do our picture? Mr. Manager.
Madam Chair, our next proclamation is item 9A5. This is a proclamation proclaiming May 2018 as One Truckee River Month. Commissioner Lucy is here to read that proclamation and joined by many of our river advocates.
Commissioner Lucy.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Good morning still. It is 11:30, so we're doing good. You know, I'm here, obviously, this is the One Truckee River Month proclamation. I want to welcome the group of beautiful women behind me who represent the One Truckee River Month plan and have done a number of great work here in the community to support such a jewel within our community. It is truly the great connector that connects the cities and the county all together as one and connects us with our neighboring communities. So without further ado, I'll get right into this. Washoe County proclaims, whereas the Truckee River flows 121 miles from Lake Tahoe to Pyramid Lake and is a prime source of water for Washoe County. And whereas One Truckee River is a collaboration of public and private partners working together to realize a river that flows clear and clean. And whereas One Truckee River works to sustain the river's natural ecology, cultural resources, and wildlife. And whereas One Truckee River aims to connect citizens and visitors with unparalleled opportunities for recreation and regeneration. The health of Truckee River is integral to the health of our community. And whereas time spent on and near the river encourages stewardship of the river and the surrounding watershed. The benefits of a clean river include clean drinking water for our citizens and recreational opportunities that bring economic value to Washoe County. And whereas Washoe County demonstrated its commitment to One Truckee River vision and partnership by adopting the One Truckee River Management Plan in September of 2016. And whereas One Truckee River Plan goals include building an aware and engaged community that protects and cares for the river and identifies a month-long celebration event to reconnect people to the river through place-based activities and programs for the entire community. And now, therefore, the Washoe County Board of Commissioners does hereby proclaim May 8, 2018 as One Truckee River Month, dated the 17th day of April, 2018, signed by our chair, Marcia Burke-Bickler. Ladies, good seeing you. Good seeing you as always.
Good morning.
Good morning.
My name is Alicia Raban. I'm Executive Director of Nevada Land Trust. I'm here today on behalf of One Truckee River, and I am joined by Christy Shakarolu, Executive Director of Keep Truckee Meadows Beautiful, whom you all know, and Patricia Tierney, our AmeriCorps team member serving One Truckee River this year. It also gives me great pleasure to introduce publicly for the first time One Truckee River's brand new coordinator on contract as of last Thursday, Iris Jaley-Pipard. Iris was selected by a subcommittee of the OTR partnership and returns to her native Truckee River watershed with incredible education and significant experience in community organizing, collaboration, and nonprofit management in California. Alex Hoft, who could not be here this morning, is being promoted to OTR's Associate Coordinator. Between them, we have an incredible new team. I just want to thank you all so very much, Madam Chair, Commissioners, for honoring the initiative and the 130-plus stakeholders. We are so grateful for your long-standing support. Mr. Slaughter, we also deeply appreciate the participation and professionalism of all the county staff that have been engaged to date in the One Truckee River initiative. I'd like to give a quick shout out to Alex, Patricia, and our second AmeriCorps volunteer, Elise Trawick, as well as KTMB's Lindsay Panton, our One Truckee River Month team for their outstanding work, networking within the community to encourage agencies and organizations to include their existing events on the One Truckee River Month calendar, a couple of which we've already heard about today. And they've also organized related One Truckee River events in addition to their regular work on helping with implementation of the plan. I'd like to thank Renown, who is our lead sponsor for One Truckee River Month. You can go to onetruckeeriver.org to see the over 50 river-related events, the list is still growing, being held all over town next month, and choose from among yoga classes, history and tree identification walks, the annual River Fest, Tumwa's Tahoe to Tap, and a River Stories event featuring the Truckee River origin story read by members of the Reno Sparks Indian Colony. So thank you again so very much for honoring the initiative with this proclamation. Iris and Alex will be back soon with an update on the progress being made in all the other areas as we move the One Truckee River plan ever forward. And we very much look forward to seeing you all on the river next month.
Thank you very much. Thank you for being here. Appreciate this so much.
Thank you. Chrissy Chacarolo with Keep Truckee Mail is beautiful. I'm the closer, so I just really want to encourage you to go to onetruckeeriver.org, check out the calendar of events. There's a ton of biking events happening as well, so you can multitask. You can celebrate Bike Month and River Month all at the same time. Thank you.
How fun. Good. Shall we do our picture?
Okay. Patricia.
All right. Here we go. In 3, 2. Did you want me to do a photo with? Sure. Yeah. I'll just do it on auto. Okay. Here we go. In 3, 2. Good. Yeah.
So commissioners, thank you very much for getting up there and reading the proclamations, and thank you everybody who was here and received these proclamations. I think it's great that the county does this, and so thank you, Mr. Manager, and staff who work on it. These issues are really important to us, so. Mr. Manager.
Madam Chair. Before you go on, Madam Chair.
Can we do a motion?
We need to have a motion.
And
Public
we need
comment.
public comment.
Oh, do we have public comment?
We have one person signed in, Elise Weatherly.
Okay. And then you're going to make a motion.
Yeah, I'll make a motion.
Hello,
Hi,
Ms.
Elise
Weatherly.
Weatherly. I'm hoping I can have like maybe 30 seconds extra so I don't have to speak so loudly or so quickly. What I want to say first of all is thank you to Mr. Hartung for the proposition for the National Day of Prayer. And one of the things that I noticed is that he used documentation. I recognize the scripture that he used. I know where it is. And the thing is that what I want to say is that my case is that things have to be documented, right? There's a picture that is on loan from you and your wife out there. It's very unspecific as to the date where it was taken, but it's very specific that it's on loan only. I think that's a wonderful thing to document. The other thing is I'm sorry that Ms. Jung is gone, because she was very specific in that we cannot combine scripture and government. However, this nation was founded on that book of documentation. So my case to the board is that ignore that diversity thing, because what that is a conflict of logic. There cannot be diversity when it comes to prayer, when it comes to God. So one of the things that I did was I said, well, you have to believe there is a God or you can't pray, right? Somebody back here said, are you going to go up for the picture? And she said, God, no. Well, I probably wouldn't pray with her because we don't have the same God. The other thing, too, is that there on my list of liars, there is a man that after one of my court cases with him said, we will pray for you. And I said, do not take my name up to your God, because we do not have the same God. My God is a God of miracles. I am walking testimony to that fact. So you have to believe that he actually hears us in order to pray. Now, with the men that you brought forward, I did a little analysis, and I would pray with these men. I wouldn't have prayed with the original pastor of UFF because he was a liar. When he called that congregation his sheep, I made a documentation of it. I went, no, they are not your sheep. They are God's sheep. So I left, and then later on, he took a dive and a tumble. I would not pray with the Pope. I would not pray with the Pope. Do you know why? He says Jesus is a failure. So I would not pray with him. The thing is about older citizens. That can be verified. My age can be verified. That's a documentation. Bikes can be identified, easily identified. Law is precise. I follow the law because it's precise. The Truckee River, it's a very specific item. It can be determined by location and by identification. But with this whole prayer thing, that's where everything comes into, debate. Well, it's not really precise. We can have the God that we want. It's okay with everybody. The government can be diverse. But what that indicates is a fakeness, a political correctness, and a lie. Now, Mr. Bock was saying that some things were lies. I have a tendency sometimes to exaggerate things myself because I want to make a point. Sometimes you can't make a point unless you exaggerate what you're trying to say. So the final result here, the final end is, yes, we need to pray. If my people who are called by my name will pray, I will hear them. And I'm so grateful that we have that option, is if we can be identified with that God, we can pray and he will listen.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Any other public comment? Then we will close public comment, bring it back to the board. Commissioner Lucy.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I'd like to make a motion to accept all the proclamations that were read today.
Okay. We have a motion and a second. We've done public comment. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Please cast your vote on the screen and then affirm your vote up above. Motion carries 4-0 with Commissioner Jung absent. And so motion passes.
Madam Chair.
Commissioner Lucy is going to do donations in Commissioner Jung's absent, Mr. Manager, so we'll let him do that.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Item 10 today is donations. I'd like to point out some donations that we have received here in Washoe County. First and foremost, in 10A, we are accepting a cash donation of $9,268.30 and an in-kind donation with an estimated value of $42,707 in donations from various businesses and organizations and individuals throughout the community for our regional parks and open spaces programs and facilities. Obviously, our parks are a huge asset. And they are one of those unfunded, and we want to thank all those individuals in our community that continue to support our parks and keep them a true jewel within our community. 10B, we're accepting a cash donation in the amount of $3,450 for the period of January 1st, 2018 through February 28th, 2018. for the Human Services Agency. And these are donations for our HSA, for those who are just to help with everything that goes on. I mean, HSA is such a major department that needs quite a bit of help continuously for our seniors and our children and all those ages in between. So we want to thank those individuals who have helped made that donation a reality. And 10C, our last donation of the day, we're accepting a donation of a dog, a canine dog, equipment, handler training, and travel costs valued at $19,810 from Washoe County Canine Partners to the Washoe County Sheriff's Office for Canine Unit. This is a tremendous gift. These dogs are a true asset and not really just, they're not even, we don't think of them as animals, they think of them as truly another officer. And with all the work that they do for us at the county office, from protection, search and seizure of illegal contraband, such as firearms, these individuals, these canines help our police force and our officers daily. So we want to thank, obviously, the Washoe County Canine Partners donating a new puppy, correct? And the training, and they're going to be donating, the money will be used for new training for the canine handler. A donation will include stuff for the dogs coming from Vaughn Leach Kennels. We're getting a heat alarm for the canine vehicle, and there'll be travel and per diem for the canine sheriff's office, master trainer, and handler to train with the dogs. So with that, love to have some comment.
My name's Sergeant Jones. I'm the head of the Washoe County Canine Division. I just want to thank these ladies, the two that are sitting there. They're always trying to hide
Ladies,
canine
come on
partners.
up.
Ladies,
Not
get up
only-
here.
Forward.
Not only we know what trying times financially we have now, but they're great at going out and soliciting donations, putting together different things. But for me, what makes it special being in this unit for a long, long time is the way they reach out to the community and set up events that can best get our dogs there. We don't always have time to go out and set up those events, but our big ones coming up, the Barks and Badges, May 19th, where we take over the whole park, Bartley Ranch Park. They organize everything from food to vendors and all that. We'll show up with the dogs, and the community comes out in force. Last year, over 750 cars.
Wow.
No charge, they just come out and see the community. Later that night, of course, there's a fundraising dinner, different crowd, but they also organize all that. So I'd just like to recognize them, Kathy Barkham and Patty Kelly, who have been involved for years, and we couldn't do it without them. We really couldn't. Thank you.
Thank you, and thank you ladies very much. The dogs are so fabulous. The guys bring them and the sheriff's deputies bring them in so that we get to pet them every now and then, and they are marvelous. And we really, really appreciate so much you guys getting active in this and working on this. And so I'm looking forward to Barks and Badges. I'll be there.
Excellent, thank you.
Can't
Thank
wait
you
to
for your
see it.
time.
All right.
Madam
Thank
Chair,
you.
with that, I would like to make a motion to accept all the donations.
Hold on, don't go anywhere, sir.
Commissioner Hartung has something he wants
Sure.
to add.
Just on the canines, and I think this is important for us to recognize. You know, we've seen cuts in terms of our man-hours on the street with deputies. I'm not sure whether people realize, I know the commission does, what a force multiplier canines are, and they're a real calming effect. When the canine shows up to an incident, it's surprising how calm everyone gets. And they're just amazing tools. I would love to see, I don't want to give you a number, but a lot more. Canines are so essential and so integral in what all of the agencies do, whether it's Washoe County Sheriff's Office, the deputies, or whether it's Reno PD or Sparks PD. They're absolutely integral. And so thank you guys so much. They're a real joy for the community, and it's really amazing, as you mentioned, when they come in, they're puppies until they're told not to be puppies.
We appreciate that. And with Canine Partners, today's Wednesday training day. We train with all the other agencies now.
That's wonderful.
So we go all over the place. Obviously, we're the biggest unit with the biggest county, but they come to us and they're actually getting their dogs from the same prestigious kennel. So
That's
that
great.
wouldn't have happened without Canine Partners.
Well, thank you
Awesome.
so much
Canine
for your
Partners, they're wonderful.
participation. Thank you.
Thank you, and thank them. All right, Commissioner Lucy.
Madam Chair, with that, I'd like to make a motion to accept all the donations in agenda item 10.
Okay. Okay, I have a motion and a second. We've done public comment. We did do public comment, right?
We didn't, Madam Chair, but we do not have anyone signed in.
Okay, so we have no public comment, so we will, please cast your vote. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? And please cast your vote on the screen when it comes up. And please confirm your vote up on top. And the motion passes 4-0 with Commissioner Jung, Vice Chair Jung absent. And with that, we'll go back to Mr. Manager.
Next item is item 11, which is our consent agenda. Today, we only have one item on that agenda, item 11A, which is request to approve Commission District Fund disbursements in the amount of $3,000 for fiscal year 2017-2018.
Any changes need to be made? Commissioners, any questions? Commissioner Hartung?
Madam Chair, I'd like to recognize someone in the audience, if I may.
You may.
Miss Julie Machado. Come on down. She's our librarian at Spanish Springs. And I think what's important here is not the fact that we've given some district funds, because all of us have supported the libraries, every single one of us. Commissioner Lucy, Commissioner Jung, Commissioner Birch-Bigler, Commissioner Herman, everyone has supported the libraries. But I think what's important to highlight is what she's doing with that donation. She's doing something very special, and I'd like her to articulate that, if you would. Julie, welcome.
Welcome, Madam Chair, Commissioners, Mr. Manager. Julie Machado, for the record, Managing Librarian, Spanish Springs Library. And first, I want to thank you all for this generous donation to the Friends of Washoe County Library, which is a tremendous, well-run volunteer organization that supports the library system. We are expanding our STEAM programs, which will help the entire community be prepared for all the technology that we are bringing to this area. At the Spanish Springs Library, we're adding visual STEAM. STEAM is science, technology, engineering, art, and mathematics. So we're going to be adding microscopes. I should have brought my other notes.
Didn't mean to put you on the
But they're
spot.
just amazing. So we invite you to come down, try them out. I'd love to see you all there.
And just one final comment, if I may, Madam Chair. I've known Julie and her husband.
35 years.
Yeah, it's been a long time. It has been a very, very long time. They've been very dear friends. And Julie does such a wonderful job at the library. She's such an asset for us in Spanish Springs, and so it's truly a pleasure to support her endeavors. And so I want to thank you for all of your hard work. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Julie. We really appreciate you being here. And thank you, Commissioner Hartung. We actually should, I didn't even catch this, and I'm sorry. We should have announced that you were giving $2,000 from your special fund, so thank you very much.
Well, it's actually 3,000, Madam Chair.
I'm sorry, 3,000.
And
Yeah.
no, yeah, I was going to point that out. We didn't get an opportunity yet, but one of the other thing is that Commissioner Hartung is also donating, a total amount of $3,000 from his special funds, but also 2,000 of those dollars are going to the Nevada Water Innovation Campus, which Commissioner Hartung has been a huge champion of with Dr. Bagila up at the university, and has been a strong advocate. And then $1,000 towards the grant with Friends of Washoe County Library to support the Spanish Springs STEM program or STEAM program. So, one big, huge thank you to Commissioner Hartung for all the dedication he has shown to Nevada Water Innovation Campus and also Spanish Springs Library.
Water Innovation Campus.
You certainly may, Commissioner Hartung.
And so, having said that about the library, the Water Innovation Campus, this is going to be a game changer for us. It will be a scenario, and this is not if, it is when. We will no longer discharge effluent anywhere except for the places that we have return flow requirements to downstream users. The Water Innovation Campus promises to have some impressive technology whereby we can use that water in the system any place that we need it. And water is such a precious resource to us. I'm honored to support Dr. Pagila and his program because we will be on the forefront of water innovation. It is, again, it's not if, it is when. And all of our plants, whether we're talking about starting in the north at Cold Springs or the Lemon Valley Treatment Facility, which is owned by Washoe County, the Reno Stead facility, the Truckee Meadows Reclamation Facility, Tum Wharf, or Stem Wharf in the South Valleys. Most of them are using their effluent wisely now, but, and at certain times of the year, they have effluent customers. But once we get this technology in place, the demand will change year-round. And that's the exciting part of this. And this board has supported the Water Innovation Campus. Thank you so much for that support. TUMWA has supported it, Western Regional Water has supported it, of which Commissioner Lucy and Commissioner Herman are members of. I'm very excited about the future of water in Northern Nevada.
Good.
Thank you.
Thank you. Commissioner Lucy?
Madam Chair, I would make a motion that we accept the donation accept his.
Okay. Do I have a second?
I will second it.
We didn't do public comment? Oh, there was no public comment?
Can I second my own?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mr. Wattsfield? You can't second your own motion. No, I didn't. It wasn't my motion. Can I second my
Commissioner
disbursement?
Herman is seconding it.
Okay.
So, yeah. Okay, so all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Please cast your vote on the screen and affirm your vote up above. Motion carries 4 to 0, and with noting that Vice Chairman Jung is absent. Thank you very much. Mr. Manager.
Madam Chair, item 12 has been removed from today's agenda. Takes us to item 13, which is public comment.
Okay, public comment. All right, Miss Elise Weatherly. Okay, hang on a minute, I only have 3.
Elise Weatherly, are you guys tired of me yet? I really am very glad that we have the opportunity to come and speak out. This is a good privilege. Yesterday, I stepped out of my norm, and there were 2 young men in my presence, and I turned it into Appreciation Day. And they were surprised. One of them was kind of jaw-dropping surprised, and another one brought tears to his eyes. So I thought, well, gosh, I should try that every once in a while. So, Mr. Hartung, thank you for questioning things. Thank you for analyzing things. Thank you for being brave enough to say no sometimes when everybody else says yes. And thanks to all of you guys for having a heart and logic. And the only thing I would like to say is if anybody wants public opinion, I would ask, please don't spend so much money on the homeless. All right, my experience with the homeless is that they have chosen that lifestyle. And maybe we could spend some of that money for people that got themselves into a pickle instead, who have actually worked and tried to do things and not give away so much money to people that just want to give away, okay? Just a thought. The other thing too is this whole cannabis thing. I am so disappointed in this state. It's California Junior. I never wanted, having had experience with these things in the past, I don't want them now. I don't want recreational marijuana. I don't want to have to worry about getting high in a restaurant or anything else. So for us to give these guys special privilege, these wonderful business owners for doing recreational cannabis, and they have all these, stuff around town, I hate it, but I don't know what to do about it, okay? Maybe somebody can do something about it at some point, but I wish we would not have allowed that to happen. The other thing in that that 103-acre property, what would be really cool is if as a community, we could get together and go into partnership and have a business where we do stuff like that. I can't do it on my own. I don't think you could do it on your own. I'd love to find a way to maybe make it a nonprofit organization, buy that land and open it up for people like us who need to get away from our own lives. Just a thought. So I just want to say thank you guys for actually listening. I don't know if it makes a difference or not, but you are appreciated. Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Next, Ms. Tammy Holdstill.
Tammy Holdstill, Lemon Valley Swan Lake Recovery Committee, for the record. First, I'd like to start with, there was a little bit of misunderstanding as far as I can see, when I think the dashboard idea is a great idea for your emergency services. However, the issue comes back to, back in June of last year, Dwayne Smith looked straight at me and another representative of the Lemon Valley Swan Lake Recovery Committee and told us that that road, Theodore, would be chip sealed so that emergency services could go down that road at a decent speed for response. That did not happen. And that is why the response has an issue that they had. It wasn't because Lemon Drive was closed, it was because the follow-through was not done as stated by Washoe County staff. Washoe County staff is busy doing things like trying to slander or make it difficult when it comes to situations of appealing projects that at this time do not need to be in a valley that is flooded, that is a closed basin. And then for a resident to have to make 13 pages of replies, paragraph by paragraph, is absolutely a waste of time. Waste of time and money on situations other than doing a permanent fix for Lemon Valley and Silver Lake and White's Lake. There's issues that need to be addressed. And the way things are going right now and doing these little surveys here and thinking about this and doing a response mitigation that should have been already done to begin with are the situations that this county needs to look at. There's not safety, security, and healthiness within the North Valleys. And that is what is supposed to be being worked on. And that's why I'm here. And that's why I'm speaking for the residents of Lemon Valley and why they have asked me to do so since June 8th of last year. Thank you.
I got it wrong again, didn't I?
You did well.
Okay.
Just a short message. Thank you, Commissioner Hartung, for supplying those photographs of the Rise Cannabis dispensary. As I said before, when I stated sizes of letters, they were approximate. Also, I wonder, what is the need? Why do they need the sign so large? Why do they need a sign other than what they stated they would do? Why did they go against their words of being inconspicuous and we wouldn't even know they're there? You can still see the sign way up Pyramid. Other than that, I just don't trust their judgment. What will they do next? Yeah, they applied for the sign. They got approval. Okay. In Carson City, at their store that they have there, they just have a sign the size of what's on the front of that building, which was agreed upon before you guys pushed it through. So why do they need something like that in our backyard? Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Staffelbach. Seeing no more public comment, we will close public comment and bring it back to the board. Mr. Manager.
That brings us to item 14, Commissioner County Manager's announcements, reports, updates, requests for information, or topics for future agendas.
You have nothing? Commissioners? I just have one thing. I would like someone to look into the RISE facility and make sure that they are complying with security, because they are supposed to do that.
I did hear that earlier.
Thank you. All right, with that, we are closed. We are adjourned. We're closed, too.